Chamber Talk Show. I am Dr. Tamika Manning alongside Dr. April Givens, where we talk all things mental health. We have fun and we help people. We give you practical strategies.
Yes, in the past 2 years, we have been in coaching, providing wellness, as well as fitness and mental health tips through the Chamber Talk Show.
So today, we're going to get started. This is actually our first time doing a live audience. So thank you guys for coming out. Clap it up for us. Alrighty, so in this segment, we have a woman who I call a superwoman. This is our women empowerment segment. We are joined by Raven Wells, who is an aeronautical engineer. So this is not your normal, everyday woman's job. So, all right. So thank you for being here with us. Tell us about how did you come to Dallas?
I took a job offer here in Dallas for an aerospace company, and it was very attractive. So I relocated here.
Okay. All right. So you're here. You told me a little bit about how you got here. So, of course, you know, Dr. April is a psychotherapist, so we're going to bring her in for some coaching as we kind of talk about some things that happened to you when you first arrived. You got here on your first day of work, and what happened?
They asked me, was I the cleaning lady?
Oh, wow.
So it was quite an adventure. I got off the elevator. I did my interview telephonically over the phone, and so I relocated. I moved my family, and I get off the elevator, and I go to my section, and I was like, I'm Raven Wells. They're like, who? And the group, it's, you're Raven? I am. How are you? How are you? And you hear the comment, what, did we hire a new cleaning lady? Oh, wow. So they weren't expecting me. I was something that they weren't accustomed to, and they weren't used to that.
So tell us, how do you react to that? What did you say?
I didn't say anything. I smiled, I grinned. I always try to take the high road. The high road, my reaction to life is more important than what they have to say. Okay. And so I'm always humbled. I know where I came from, and I know where I've been, and I know what I have to do to achieve my goals. So I give them a look, I smile, and I nod, and I let them know, hey, it's okay. It's all right. What you're saying is not okay with me, but my reaction I will never give the reaction that you expect.
So there has to be some mental implications from that. Coming to a job, you're a double minority. Yes. You walk in the room, they think you're the cleaning lady. So mentally, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like when you leave at the end of the day, you need some additional support? Yes,
it is absolutely draining, and I was fortunate enough to have a support system when I do leave work. It's stressful, and in order to hold up that mask, it takes a lot of strength to hold that mask up all day, constantly hold up a smile, something, hold your shoulders back, and not feel demeaned or ashamed or just beat down. So it takes a lot of strength to hold that mask up.
So that's where the psychotherapist would come in. So I'm sure she's counseled people in her office where she has talked to them about how to get through these situations, practical strategies. What would you say, Dr. April?
Yeah, workplace stress is very hard, having to go to work and deal with something like that. So, my thing is always telling you to effectively communicate. So you don't want to always be passive in these types of situations. You want to be able to speak up. You don't have to be rude when you speak up, but it's called assertive communication. So you want to be able to let people know, hey, that wasn't cool. I didn't like that. This made me feel a certain type of way. So that way you can get that respect from them because you're demanding it, so to speak. Well, walk us through like your day-to-day. What is aeronautical? What is
aeronautical engineer?
Aeronautical engineer. Yes. What exactly is it?
The directions, the instructions to fix the aircraft, or we write those instructions.
Okay.
And so we analyze the drawings, we analyze the math, the schematics, and we come up with plans and strategies, and we write those directions on how to fix that aircraft.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. So I woke up one day and said I wanted to be a journalist. How did you come to the conclusion that this is something that you wanted to do?
I've always taken things apart. I've always had an interest. Most girls, and they want to get their hair done, and they want to, learn how to do domestic things that did not interest me at all. I would take things apart and learn how they work and put them back together, and that's it just
It's
called
a
to
struggle
me.
for a lot of us.
Yeah.
It's a struggle for me to put anything together. I don't even want to put anything together.
love
But what I want to say though is that we are super proud that you represent for us. So talk to us. Let's think about a young girl. What would you say to her who's, this is a field that is non-traditional for us. What would you say to a young girl before we close about, becoming an aeronautical engineer, becoming a pilot? We had a recent situation with some African-American pilots flying out of Dallas. And so that was an exciting moment for me. What would you say?
Dream big. Dream big. The only thing that's going to ever stop you from dreaming is you. Nobody on this earth can stop you from doing what you want to do except for you. So you have ears, you have a mouth. You use your ears to listen and learn. You use your mouth to assert yourself. Speak up, request, learn, just ask for what you want. And when they don't give it to you, you make sure you make a path so you can get there on your own.
Absolutely.
Don't stop, dream big.
Dream big, positive affirmation. Yes, I love it. I love it. We always end every little segment that we do on a positive affirmation. And we want to tie in an affirmation with what we do as we try to encourage other females to, like you said, dream big. So, Dr. April, what type of affirmation would you use for this?
Okay, so the affirmation for today, I am empowered. I am empowered. This is something simple. Like, I am continuing to be empowered.
I love it. I love it. And I hope you guys love it. I enjoyed the segment with you. Thank you for
having me.
for coming in. Raven Wells, thank you so much.
This is my book. It was written along with my god sisters and my god sister and a few friends. And if you can find it on Amazon, and the poem that I'm doing today is also in this book. Proverbs 31:10 says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For she is more priceless than rubies." I present to you today of a woman. When they see me coming, they all move aside, and as I pass through, I see admiration and adoration in their eyes. I hear the wondering in their voices asking, "Who am I? Where did I come from, and where have I been?" And after my presence, they ask, "Have you seen her? And will we see her again?" I have many names, I wear many faces. I've seen many things, and I've been many places. I'm adorned in the spirit. I'm laced with dignity and pride. I'm as prayerful as Hannah, as graceful as Esther, as pure as Mary. In my heart is where truth lies. In my mouth there are words of wisdom. My tongue only speaks words of kindness. To my husband I am virtuous. My children rise up and call me blessed. I am greeted and respected by names of Miss, Ms., and Mrs. I am the princess bride. I am queen to my king, queen of the land. I am mother, mother of love, mother of nature, mother of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, and Jesus. I am God's greatest creation to bear great men. I am blessed with givings. My bosom carries the milk that nurtures many nations. My fingertips are numb from the grinding of the grains. These hands have prepared many meals and clothed many who are naked. My womb carries the fruit where I bear daughters and sons. I'm exalted in the book of Ruth, praised in Proverbs, and even Solomon has sung me a song. I am the sunshine on cloudy days, and when it's hot, warm, or cold outside, I'm the month of January, February, March, April, and May. June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. I'm always in your thoughts, never forgotten, always remember. I am the mother of the civil rights movement. I am the queen of soul. I am the other half of man that make man whole. I am young, I am old, I'm wise, I am bold. I'm always right, never wrong, or so I'm told. Many call me beautiful, yet I'm not vain. Though they adorn my feet with rose petals, it's to God I give the highest praise. I am highly favored, yet I'm not deceitful. Nikki says I'm ego tripping, but Maya says I'm phenomenal. I am full of respect, therefore I'm respectful. I will never be disrespected because I'm respectable. Many have tried to belittle me, beat me, and break me, but I am unbreakable. I am far more precious than rubies, far more valuable than diamonds, silver, or gold. Oh, I wear the finest of garments, but not of satin or silk, but strength and honor are how I'm clothed. Men, children, there's something I want you to know, that when you're weak, I'm strong, and when you slip, I'm your backbone. I've been many places, I've seen many things, I wear many faces, and I have many names. Mother, mama, muddy, grandmama, big mama, little mama, auntie, sweet, baby, girl, honey, child, lady, pearl. I'm a strong, loving, understanding one. I'm black, white, Hispanic, Native American, Middle Eastern, Asian, African. I've been in this world since time began. Placed my mark in stone and sand. Became a mother to a motherless child. Taught the unlearned and nursed a sad heart into a smile. Sailed on the Nile, and yes, I even slept in the Garden of Eden for a while. You see, in the beginning, God created an image of him and called him man and named him Adam. And as Adam slept, I was created, flesh of his flesh, bones of his bones. And when Adam awakened, he took one look at me, named me Eve, and called me woman of a woman. Thank you.
In this segment, we have a couple that we're going to be providing coaching. So this is Fred and Charzetta.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
So Fred and Charzetta, first, tell us how long y'all have been married.
Well, we've been married 6 years, but we've been knowing each other over 20 years.
Okay. So just tell the audience a little bit how you both met. Whatever you want to share.
Well, we met each other in a period where dark days, what I call back in our baby days, in our early 20s, when we was no guidance, no nothing. We have no sense of direction, just out there in that world, in addiction, and But me, I can't speak for my wife, but for me, I've always felt like God had a purpose for me, so I knew that He had something in store for me. And I lost something like this once before in my life, and I asked for it back, and I received it.
Here we are.
Charzetta?
Okay, so we met when I was in my 30 years of addiction, and so through God's grace and mercy, He has brought me out. I have 13 years clean.
Yeah.
And I have my associate's degree to become a counselor. I've done all of that even through the midst of the storm, because I've never been a quitter. And I know that God has always had something more in store for me than just running the street and doing drugs and neglecting my children. So I've come a mighty long ways, and I never gave up on him because, I just knew that he had what it takes to do what it is for you to live in life and not just throw your life away. So I never gave up on him, and I kept praying. And God has brought us back together at least 4 times. And so with that being said, I want to say that God can work a miracle, because it was only by grace that He brought us back together.
Wow.
And we've been working and changing each other. we've been working to strengthen our marriage for a long time.
Okay. So what are some things that you do that you can tell us as part of being married that, you have overcome, and how were you able to overcome those things? Was it by the grace of God, praying? Like, what do you do? What tips can you give other married couples?
Well, when we see ourselves, wanting to blow up and have a big argument, I'll just go to one room and leave him in the other one. He come to that room, I go to another one because I ain't finna do this. Because it only leads to worse things. And we've had some domestic violence, and we've hurt each other and left scars and things. And, with me being 61, I just know if I don't want to live like that no more. And so, but I want to be with them. And so we have to find, a positive role to play even in a bad situation to where, we just have to stick with it and not allow one another to get frustrated enough to want to hit each other, throw anything and of that nature. So by the grace of God, we've been together this time almost 2 years without any conflict like that.
Well, good. So do you guys have any type of pact that, hey, we're not going to go to bed mad? Like, what are some things that, you have decided that to get through certain things?
Well, for me, I can go to bed mad. It don't make me no different. Because if it's something real serious, what I call serious, that it come up down the road, I pray on it.
Okay.
And if it's something petty that it can be handled right then, it don't make me no doubt. I ain't gonna touch it. You can keep on getting mad. I don't care. But something serious, I'll pray on it. And me being who I am, God had worked with me and her. He had worked with me and her. And when I say he can do it, he can do it. Yeah.
So it seems like y'all go by the saying, happy life, happy wife. Like, you tend to maybe ignore her sometimes when she may go off on a tangent or fuss about something.
Oh yeah, that's petty.
Okay.
Yeah. But when she's serious, it's something that's become repetitious, she'll say. And if I know she's saying it over and over, she meant what she's saying. So I got to pay attention to what she's saying,
Okay.
And act on it.
Okay. So, Trozetta, what do you like to add? What do you do?
Most of the time, like the other day he came in, he was frustrated because I didn't have anything cooked to eat.
Hold on, man. Let me explain that. Let me explain that. I've been off of work for 7 months, all right? Because I got a finger amputated. So I had a routine that I don't eat in the morning, I don't eat alone lunch. I don't eat no dinner until about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So me going back to work, around 4 o'clock, I'm starving. Cause I ain't had no breakfast or no lunch. So I called my wife, baby, are you cook? Well, yeah, I get home, no lunch. No dinner. I'm hot, but it's okay. We got plenty of food in there. It's okay.
So how did you handle this?
I handle it. I told him, I said, nigga, I've been working every day. I come home, ain't no food on the stove. My bath water ain't run. I told him, I said, you got me hooked up.
Okay.
But I went on in there and fixed him a nice steak, and yeah, I did that. After I said what I needed to say. Yeah.
Okay. So do you both believe that, it can be equal in a relationship where the woman doesn't have to necessarily cook all the time, but the man, he helps and does things also?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm the type of man, I don't look for my wife to walk behind me or walk in front of me. I want my wife right here on the side of me. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm not strong, she gonna be strong.
Right.
When she weak, I'm strong. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got.
All right.
Well, what type of words of wisdom that you guys would love to leave the married couples or people that are aspiring to be married, our audience?
Well, I'll start on that. first and foremost, we just have to get out of our own set ways. You know, we have to be willing to, you know, like compromise, forgive. Don't allow a person to push your buttons. They know how to push them. They know which ones to push. So when it's happening, you just don't let them know that shit happening. You know, don't do it. Don't act. You know, because it really it blows it up even more. It's like throwing logs on the fire. So I've learned to be quiet. Damn. You ain't got to try to make everything right when I say it's right or wrong. Right. So I've learned to be quiet, humble myself, you know, in the presence of anything that we're having conflict over, because one of us got to be the bigger person, you know, and not feed into it. Because he sure know how to pick, baby.
And that's some really good information, because I always tell my clients that, hey, you know, you are in control of you.
Right.
You can control how you react and how you respond, but you can't control that other person.
You sure can.
So that's really great.
You know, excuse me. One thing I learned, and my wife heard me say it once before, because we've been hearing this for a while. Can no one make you mad but yourself? You know what I'm saying? I can say something, you might not like it. But who made you mad? It wasn't me.
We're allowed to happen.
We're allowed to happen.
Right. Absolutely.
And you know, and when you're dealing with your spouse or significant other, you know what I'm saying, I mean, they're the most closest person to you. So it's quite easy for whatever she say, and that's negative, it's facing, you know, come at me, I might take it wrong. But nowadays, she say something foul or negative, my first reaction, I'm trying to look behind her, see where it come from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because if you take it, what's in your face, you gonna deal with what's right here. You don't know what's bringing it about. So that's why I'm having my marriage with my wife. You know what I'm saying? So that helps me. You hear me talking to you? Yeah, I hear you, baby. I'm still trying to figure out where this is all coming from. Yeah.
We worked really hard. Oh, yeah. And we still at it. Still working.
You know, one thing I've learned, I ask, what God give you, what God put together, let no man bring apart. I understand that, you know, can no outside person come between me and her. It's me and her will destroy our marriage, which we almost have in the past. So that being said, anything that we ask for in his name, man, he laid it at our feet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about no long-term goals neither. I'm talking about you put things in motion, line it up with God, and we receiving it.
Step into it.
We step into it because we position. You know, that's what we learned. That's what we learned. You know, even though we've been together 20-some years, that don't mean nothing. But living together, going through together, knowing her do's and her don'ts, her learning mine, me picking at her don'ts, you know, to get her aggravated, her doing the same thing. But throughout time, you get to recognize, okay, this is what she doing, this is what he doing. Go on. You know what I'm saying? Go on. You get to that point instead of blowing up. Man, go on. Yeah.
So what I hear you say is meeting your spouse where they are. Yeah, meeting them where they are, because you know each other. You know, nobody knows each other than the two people that are in the relationship together. Right. So you, like you said, you know what buttons to push. Mm-hmm. So meeting each other where they are.
Right, and it's really worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Powerful. Okay.
Isn't it?
Well, we're going to close. We appreciate y'all coming up here and allowing us to, coach and ask some questions and doing that. So I'm going to close with an affirmation. Okay. So the affirmation for this segment would be, everything is always working out for me. Mm-hmm. Everything is always working out for me. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Dr. April, Dr. Shamika. My name is Paula Farrell. This is a question basically for our couple that was on the panel just now. When you do have frustrations maybe with each other and you're dealing with something, how do you handle not to go outside to like your friends or family talking about those issues, getting that feedback from someone else versus you talking about it yourself? Like, how do you handle or try to keep from going outside of the marriage?
All right, for me personally, at the age I am right now, 55 years of age, I've seen husband and a wife, you don't interfere in their relationship. I've seen a woman turn on a man or turn on someone who get off into a relationship. So while I wouldn't take my personal relationship outside, because it's like, okay, say for instance, I'm single. Why would I bring my lover into my personal relationship? You don't mix those two. So that's why I never go outside and tell someone, okay, I'm having a problem with her, I'm having a problem, blah, blah, blah. I go to God. That's my only problem solver.
Okay, I'll give you mine. So what I usually do is know that I used to be a runner. So therefore, it takes me, I have to go and break it on down because he'll stay mad all day. And so I just go over there and hug him and kiss him and squeeze him and tell him, I said, baby, I love me some you. And that usually make it work.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
What do you do when you find yourself in a rut? A rut. From everyday life of running around, dealing with kids, dealing with friends, dealing with relationships. But what do you do when you find yourself in a rut? Where do you go? What do you do?
A lot of times people are in this rut because they're overwhelmed and they're stressed about everything that happens in life. So you want to create some level of structure, some organization for yourself. What does that look like? Stick to a schedule, write it down. Writing things down takes it out of your head and putting it on paper, so it makes it more tangible. It makes it clear for you, but it also acts as a release. So you want to be able to write down what it is that you're experiencing, what it is that you're going through, and then you want to write down what's my plan of action. So moving forward, based on these things that I'm going through, what are my thoughts about it? This is what my plan of action is.
And I want to piggyback on that too. Find an outlet. Like for me, she said, get organized. I cut things out. Like I say, okay, I can do this and I can do this and I can no longer do this. So I'm learning to say no to people where I've, previously said yes a lot, and I'm just saying, no, I can't do this. I can't. Or if I do, it's a shortened amount of time. Like last night I was invited to an event and I was like there for a brief moment. I just came to show my face. I've got to go. I got something to do. So I'm beginning to do that more. And then as well as, of course, my outlet for stress, and you said being in a rut, a lot of times we go out and we work out. We do something physical, even if it's 30 minutes in the morning before work or 30 minutes at night before bed. So find an outlet to help you relieve that stress so that you can have something positive to do to take the place of some of that additional stress.
So I have a question for the engineer. I forgot Raven. How long did it take you to get your license or certificate or degree?
I started out in the military. I was a helicopter mechanic, and I did that for a good while, and then I stopped doing it. Started to go to school. I wanted something a little bit more adventurous. Okay. And I ended up getting my A&P license. I got an associate's in aviation maintenance, and then I was like, I think I want to keep going, and so I went overseas and I worked internationally for a while, working on helicopters and airplanes for the government. And, then I came back and then I traveled the world. I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to school. So it took me a while, but I always had the experience to continue to keep doing that. And then it was just finally, well, let me go ahead and graduate. Let me go ahead and graduate because I've already got the job. Let me go ahead and graduate. So it took quite a while, but I started aviation maintenance really, really young. So I hope that answers your question.
That poem was so inspiring. Where do you get your material from?
I get asked that question all the time, but it's mainly from life, not necessarily my life, maybe friends, family, people, strangers, because I don't know why wherever I go, people always just sit down and talk to me. I never met them before, and so I just listen and take it all in. But that particular poem started at the church. I was a part of a poetic ensemble at church, and one of the minister of music had asked me to write a poem for their Women's Day. We know what a Women's Day program. That particular, they had asked me to write a poem for the Women's Day program, and they told me it was based off the virtuous woman. And I want to rewind. I've been writing since 6th grade. So I had always, I loved Ego Tripping by Nikki, and I love Phenomenal Woman and Still I Rise. And I always said, I want to write a poem just as good, because you can't beat Nikki and Maya. So I said, I want to write a poem just as good. And so my inner procrastinator just kept me just procrastinating. And when I got asked to write that, it took me a while to write it because I didn't like it at first. But, so I didn't make it to the women's conference. What happened was because I did not like the poem that I had written. So I prayed. I said, God, tell me what you want me to write. So when I asked God to tell me what he wanted me to write and to say, it just started pouring like rain. And I wrote, and I just kept writing what I thought. So I knew that was God-given. And really, that's my favorite poem. And so after I finished, it was like, that's it. So that's my ego tripping and phenomenal woman. So God inspired me.
I have a question for Raven. My question would be, what advice would you give young girls going into the same field that you're in? Do they need to take the same platform that you went to get the same degree to go where you're going, or would you give them advice to go through the college route? Because sometimes our young girls, right now, STEM is big in schools, and we're introducing a lot of science, engineering, and we want to make sure that our young girls will be able to know how to go about being able to do what you may be doing.
There are so many avenues. There's so many roads to get there. You can go to college. There's always college. It starts with VOTEC. They're teaching aviation maintenance in high schools now. You can do the military. It's about whatever suits you, whatever makes you feel good, whatever calls you. I want to say what calls you. You don't listen to anybody else. You do what calls you to do. So if you want to go to school and you want to go to college. If you want to join the military, you can go to the military and they'll pay for college. You can start in VOTEC, you start in high school. I would advise everybody wears shoes. So if you want to wear a pair of boots, a pair of Chucks, a pair of combat boots, put them on. You still got to walk. So my advice to any young girl is you do what calls you. There are corporations, we're being a double minority. We are so far and few. They're calling to us. So all you have to do is find an open door. Decide what road you want to go to. Find a crack in the door. You get in there. Once you get in there, you're not going to want to stop. And if somebody does tell you to stop, don't stop. So you've got so many. Just explore every opportunity that you can. And as parents, build your girls up. Please, parents, build your girls up. Don't ever tell them, well, girls don't do that. Girls do the same thing anybody else does, and we do it a lot better. So.
All right, so thank you guys for coming out to come to the chamber today. We enjoyed you guys, of course, the Women Empowerment Session and the couples coaching. We love what we do. You'll catch us doing this. You can go to our YouTube channel, The Chamber Talk Show, as well as our IG page. We also have a Facebook group page, The Chamber Talk Show, where you can catch us talking about just about anything, from relationships to
Fitness.
I mean,
Right.
you name it, we talk about it. Dr. April is coaching in the moment, giving practical strategies to help us all live a better life. That's what we're all about, right? We want to live a better life holistically, and that's what we're about. But we're going to close the show with a positive affirmation, as we always do when we close our show, and I will let Dr. April take the mic.
So the positive affirmation for today is, I choose to be okay in this moment.
All right. Thank you guys for watching.